Raise your hand if you are newly pregnant and you have ever obsessively Googled things about your due date or weight gain or nutrition or pelvic floor. If you have, you're in the right place because I am going over some common pregnancy mistakes to avoid that a lot of us made in our first pregnancy. And I personally want to pass on the advice. Maybe you're not pregnant for the first time, but you still need to hear this. Either way, welcome. I am Jess of Nourishing New Mama, and today we are talking about 4 common pregnancy mistakes to avoid so that you can have a healthier, happier pregnancy that is more peaceful, joyful, and nourished. Let's get started. Number 1 of my pregnancy do's and don'ts and mistakes to avoid is do not obsess about the number on the scale and instead focus on the nutrients that you are consuming to build that baby. This is a big one. We are as obsessed with pregnancy weight as much as we are with losing it. It is like when I did keyword research for this video, the first thing that came up when I typed in pregnancy weight gain was how to not gain weight during pregnancy. Stop. Your body is smart. You gaining weight during pregnancy is not just necessary, it is by design. Your fluids are increasing, your blood volume is going up by 50%, not to mention you are growing another organ, your placenta, you've got a baby, and your body is doing the wise thing of storing fat, not just for pregnancy, but to boost your fat stores for breastfeeding because of the toll it takes on your nutrient and fat stores to provide milk for that baby. This is not a mistake, okay? Yes, your weight is a factor to, keep an eye on, but for a lot of us that don't have medically high-risk pregnancies, it is much better suited to take that energy and focus on the foods and the nutrients that we're consuming in order to help us and our babies stay nourished. Your baby is not built out of thin air. Even though sometimes it feels that way, we're pregnant, we're like, what is happening to me? Remember to instead focus on how you're feeling, the nutrients that you're consuming. Are you consuming nutrient-dense foods like pasture-raised meat and high amounts of stable fats like butter and ghee and tallow and coconut oil and fruits and roots and all these lovely things that are giving your body the vitamins and minerals it needs to build that baby? Or are we spending our energy hyper-focusing on the fact that we are gaining weight? I remember when I sat down with my midwife at my first appointment, and she was very sweet, and she assured me, the average recommendation for your size and weight is going to be 25 to 35 pounds, but she said, don't freak out if you go above that. I've seen women go to 40, 45 and have really healthy pregnancies. She said, my focus is to make sure that you feel well and that you're fueling your body well. I was incredibly blessed with my midwife, I will say that, and I do know that that's not the majority of people's experiences. A lot of us aren't met with that with our OB simply because they don't have enough time, right? A lot of them, we're getting weighed at every appointment, we're making sure we're staying on track, and we're pretty much told, are you eating right? Yeah, okay. Are you taking a prenatal? Yeah, okay. And then you're kind of sent on your way. But the focus on weight is missing the mark because you can have a healthy pregnancy and be gaining more than the average amount, and you can gain the average amount but still have a lot of symptoms indicative of an undernourished body in that pregnancy. And so instead of focusing on the fact that you gained more than you wanted to or more than was the average amount, focus on how you're feeling. How's your blood sugar? Are you feeling good? Are you and your baby healthy? And are you nourishing your body, right? That's really the focus we want to do. We want to make sure mama and baby is healthy. We want to make sure that you feel good, and we want to make sure that you're nourishing your body well. Number 2, hyper focusing on the due date. Oh my Lord, if I could tell pregnant Jess one thing, it would be to calm down about the due date. The end of pregnancy is so hard, okay? So besides the fact that you're uncomfortable, I'm needing to get rolled out of bed just to get up. I can't put my socks on. I don't think I put pants on the entire last 2 weeks of my pregnancy just because I literally could not bother. You're so excited to meet your baby. You're just like counting down the minutes until you get to meet his or her beautiful face and get to know them and see what they're like. It's such an exciting time. But the thing is, the due dates are not only not a date, but they're a pretty wild estimate. First of all, most of us don't actually even know our day of conception, in which case our due date estimation is just that, a wild estimation, and there can be a very large variability. But let's say you did know your point of conception, which I did. I knew my day of conception. Your due date is still an estimation. According to evidence-based birth, look on my computer because I'm going to read this. I don't want to mess this up. Based on the best evidence, there's no such thing as an exact due date, and the estimated due date of 40 weeks is not accurate. Instead, it would be more appropriate to say that there is a normal range in which most women go into labor. About half of all pregnant women will go into labor on their own by 40 weeks and 5 days. That for first-time mothers, and 40 weeks and 3 days for mothers who have given birth before. That's half, about half, okay? The other half will not, which means they could go later. By far, the most important predictor of a longer pregnancy is a family history of long pregnancies, including your own personal history, your mom, your husband's mom, or your grandma. This is huge. This was from Evidence-Based Birth. Great website, by the way. Not to mention, a lot of really important things is still happening in the late stages of pregnancy, like lung development, even as late as 38 and 39 weeks. So baby's not just doing nothing, pissing around in there. He or she is still developing. They are doing important work in there. So distract yourself, go on a date, take a nap, enjoy the time when it's just you and your partner. If you're at the end of pregnancy and you're watching this right now, I know it's so hard, but guess what? Babies are born on their birthday, okay? And if you are stressing about the due date, like me, I was swearing up and down that my daughter would come early. I was like, she's gonna come 2 weeks early because all my mom's kids came 2 weeks early. My baby's gonna be 2 weeks early. She's gonna come in October. She's gonna be a pumpkin. She did not. She came in November. She was a turkey. She came when she wanted to come. I did all the natural labor induction. I tried everything to have it happen exactly the way that I want it to happen. And the Lord taught me a valuable lesson, which is that you are not nearly as in control as you think you are. And bless my heart, my anxious pregnant heart that just wanted to meet my baby, I would have reminded her, hey, she is going to come when she's ready. And she did. And she came out and she was rosy and she was pink and she was great. And for a lot of us that don't have medically high-risk pregnancies, there's literally no reason to stress about the fact that our due date came and gone. Our body will go into labor when it is ready. You can trust your baby. You can trust the process. You have care providers that are for you. Make sure you work with someone that believes in your body's natural ability to give birth. I know it's super popular right now to feel like we have to be on a schedule and they have to come by a certain time. But if you are safe, if mama is safe and mama is healthy and baby is safe and baby is healthy, trust that baby will come on their birthday. Number 3, exercising like you always did before with no regard to the changes of pregnancy. This is something I made the mistake of doing for the first half of my pregnancy. I just kind of kept doing what I was doing. And for some people, maybe that might not be an issue, but your body is changing. And had I to do it over again, I would have told myself, and I tell other moms, it's super helpful to intentionally exercise like you're preparing for delivery. Once I shifted my kind of exercise, strategy, and really focused on my pelvic floor, practicing my pelvic floor breathing, seeing professionals about it, and making sure that I was doing everything I could to prepare my body for delivery. Oh my gosh, everything changed. Symptoms got better. My pelvic floor issues started to get a lot better. And I highly recommend doing that if you are a first-time mom. Maybe you're not a first-time pregnancy mom, but you had issues before. Highly recommend doing that. You can see pelvic floor physical therapists in your area. You can find ones online and connect to. Some people are having Zoom sessions now. But hands down, a mistake to avoid is to just keep doing what you're doing, because the truth is that the needs of your body now in movement are going to be different, most likely, than they were before you were pregnant. Your body is getting ready to do the magical feat of childbirth, and being very intentional about preparing your body, specifically your pelvic floor, your lower body muscles, to do that is going to make a world of difference. Number 4, a mistake I think a lot of moms tend to is hyper-focusing on delivery or baby, like when baby gets here, and abandoning preparing for their postpartum recovery. This is a huge one. A lot of us are so excited for baby to come. Maybe we spend all of our time researching and thinking about birth and then taking care of the baby, right? It's like, how do you burp? The proper way to latch? Do we have all the baby stuff? What's the registry like? Even if you look at baby showers are baby-centric. But the thing is that A, babies need a lot less than you think. They need you, mama. And a lot of times they're pretty much good with that. You and your boob. And B, you are going to encounter in that 4th trimester one of the most intense healing periods probably that most of us will ever go through. And we need to be prepared for that. Focus on preparing for your postpartum, because then you will enter into postpartum feeling cared for and supported instead of feeling like, oh my gosh, I spent all my time making sure I had the right bassinet and I don't have any food and we're eating takeout all the time and I didn't prepare for this, I didn't get all my supplements in time, like whatever it is, take some time, prepare for your postpartum, make sure that you are taken care of and whatever that looks like for you. Book a pelvic floor physical therapy appointment. Prep some meals for your freezer, prep some bone broth, prep some mineral-rich postpartum teas, have conversations with your partner about setting boundaries or, with family members. Like, this is critical. Make a space so that you feel safe and supported for postpartum so that you can care for your baby and that you can connect with baby in a way that is nourishing to you. 4 common mistakes that I find I made or other mamas tend to make, especially during that first pregnancy. Let me know which one stuck out to you or what is a mistake that you made in your first pregnancy that you wouldn't make now. I would love to hear from you. I make new videos every week on all things holistic, intentional nourishment with your mama design in mind. Thank you for stopping by.